What's up, guys? OP Rob here. Today, I want to have a discussion, and I guess, I could say more of maybe a review, a little review, but more of a discussion of, One Piece manga chapter 867. Now, in this chapter, we were still continuing on from the Big Mom flashback, which, started originally in chapter 865. I mean, I think it's fair to say that Big Mom actually has a ridiculous, unnatural amount of strength embedded in her, somehow. Since birth, or around when she was a child, probably by the world government, or maybe by accident. She may have eaten something as a toddler, or was fed something that she wasn't supposed to eat, that has increased her strength to, almost on a ridiculous level, if we're being honest. I mean, the age of 5, she was able to kill giants, basically. And also she was able to kill one of the former giants, one of the former captains of the giant pirates, which for me is a really big thing. I mean, how Big Mom can actually be defeated in combat at all against anyone is a mystery when you think about it. We have heard that, Kaidou is indestructible. Many times he couldn't be killed, even by himself when he did try to kill himself. But the way I actually see it, I actually can't see how in combat Big Man can be defeated even by Kaidou. Because in terms of strength, it is highly likely that Big Mom has more strength than Kaidou, natural strength. It's possible that she has more natural strength. But the difference is that, it doesn't mean that Big Mom can defeat Kaidou. It just means that I don't think Kaidou can defeat Big Mom. Because, the difference is that Kaidou is, the reason why I'm saying that is because Kaidou is ridiculously durable. So he can take so much pain and damage to his body, which explains the fact that he hasn't been able to experience death at any rate. They've tried to execute him more than 50 or 30 times, and he just doesn't die. But moving on, what this revelation of Big Mom's potential strength is that there is a reason why the four, what the revelation of her potential strength shows is that, well, firstly, there's a reason why the 4 yonko exist, and why the world government do try to avoid the yonko encountering each other. Because they all possess so much strength and power that we've only basically seen glimpses of. I couldn't imagine Shanks actually fighting Kaidou. Can you imagine just the haki and the repercussions from that fight? Or Big Mom actually fighting Kaidou, for example, the end result would be absolutely crazy. Although, I must say that I wonder what the fight would be like between Big Mom and Blackbeard, because I actually believe that, Blackbeard would have to rely more on, his earthquake devil fruit, the one he got from Whitebeard, than the yami no mi. Because I believe that Big Mom is so unbelievably strong physically that she doesn't actually need her devil fruit to fight against anyone. All she needs is haki and her strength, really and truly. She just uses her devil fruit to put people into judgement, using the life or treat tactic, for example. Her strength for me would be unbearable for Blackbeard. I don't think Blackbeard would be able to handle her in battle because of her strength. In fact, the only people that could be close in strength to Big Mom in One Piece that we know of so far, that I believe, could obviously be close to her in strength are Kaidou and Monkey D. Garp. And that's only based on, I'm talking about natural strength. So really, we are only actually talking about Garp and Big Mom, because Kaidou is among the strongest, but because he most likely has a mythical devil fruit, mythical Zoan devil fruit, it actually aids his natural strength. Because when the Zoans, they're like their devil fruit actually, that's the only real devil fruit that actually aids your strength. It can make you stronger because you have a beast kind of devil fruit. So you kind of take it in the form of an animal or whatever it is as well. So you get stronger. You know, compared to Big Mom, she's had this strength since she was a child. And Garp, who is also obviously known to be just a strong guy. Now, the interesting thing is that the flashback, you know, it doesn't explain to us why on earth, you know, the breaking of the picture causes Big Mom to experience body pain and bleed. And therefore, you know, making her vulnerable. It doesn't explain why she's vulnerable when the picture is broken. That, you know, and maybe it has something to do with the fact that she actually ate Mother Caramel, so maybe that's affected her body in a way. I don't know, it's all weird. You know, it's a very odd weakness to have, in my opinion. What the weakness Big Mom has just doesn't, something emotionally not right in that section. But so it could also mean that Big Mom is at her weakest when she becomes emotional, and maybe she becomes emotional when she sees any sort of damage towards Mother Caramel, because that's how her mind relates, you know, to the memory of Mother Caramel. However, in evaluation, something just isn't right with Big Mom. You know, that's including her current state and when she was young. So both times, I believe that something just doesn't make sense. I mean, how could you mistakenly eat humans and a table and simply just forget that you ate them all? So the question is, guys, she remembers that she almost ate all of the table. She remembers that bit, but she forgot that she ate her friends and Mother Caramel. That just doesn't make any sense to me. How can you realize that, oh no, I almost ate the table, but when you were eating your friends and Mother Caramel, you didn't realize that something just didn't taste right? Why can't she tell the difference between semla and the human blood or human flesh? You know, semla and human and blood clearly taste very different. So how could she mistake them? You know, I actually think that there is something within Big Mom that either likes to eat people and actually enjoy it, because it hasn't been explained why Big Mom actually likes eating souls. But also there is something within her, you know, it's like a craving spirit within her that eats any food and can crave something very cannibalistic, like people and enjoying it. I mean, and her childhood doesn't excuse a lot of the things that she does. I mean, it explains why she craves, you know, Croton Bouge or semla, but it just does not explain why she likes to take people's lives when they want to leave her crew, for example. And it doesn't explain the roulette wheel. You know, I can't excuse her for the roulette wheel. It doesn't also excuse her thirst for killing and want to kill all the Vince Smokes at the tea party and to turn their corpses into desserts. All in all, with Big Mom in a state of shock and now screaming, it's possible that she may go into a semla or Croton Bouge wanting rage again, and thereby maybe even killing more of her family. But in terms of the assassination, it may not be necessary if Big Mom is so out of control that killing her would require so much effort that her instability may provide a way for more chaos to occur, which in turn will provide a means of escape for the Straw Hats. I mean, the Straw Hats, you know, could potentially help cure her of her desire for semla, which in turn could also take away her desire for cannibalism and thus for killing. But for Big Mom to make a U-turn in her character, there are a lot of issues that must be tackled and will take a lot of time, which the Straw Hats don't have because they have to go to Wano. And so ultimately, the climax of Whole Cake Island will be very difficult to predict. But I actually don't 100% believe that Oda wants to redeem Big Mom, but moreover, he wants us to understand her relationship with Mara Caramel, which still hasn't really been explained as to why it affects her and she goes into a state of weakness. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. Please click, you know, a thumbs up if you like the video or dislike the video. Subscribe, comment on what you think will happen in the next chapter or in the end of Whole Cake Island. Say what you want to say. As usual, guys, it's Rob, baby. What up?